Hey everybody, Jeff aka GCurse here. This is a video I don't do that often. This is going to be a video comments reply. Normally I will see here. I'll reply to a lot of comments, when they build up. I make like a big video, which probably drives people nuts, but it's just how I am. However, somebody replied to a video of one of mine, and they had a legitimate question. At least I think it's a legitimate question. Either a legitimate question or the guy's trying to troll me, and you can't really tell you're being trolled that much unless like literally it's like verbal and you can see it happening. But yeah, so somebody asked me a question, and it really kind of just nobody really asks me this question before, and somebody finally asked it, and I thought I'd give my thoughts, or is it not really give my thoughts, give my reasoning. Reasoning, that's a better word. But as always, if you like what you're watching, feel free to click that, that like or the follow wherever you're watching it. And, let's get to the show, shall we? So the question that was asked me was from Brian Christopher 7988. I'm not sure if he's trolling or if, he's legitimate, You can't really tell with these messages. I hope he's legitimate, but it could be trolling also. The faces kind of make me think he's trolling, but I'm going to give a legitimate answer. How did you get into watching Phil, or how did you become a detractor? And I'm going to answer this in two parts. The first part's going to be the quickest answer, and that's how did I get into watching Phil? Quite easily. I started following the guy. It was very sporadic at the time. It was back like 2000, between 2007 2008. I can't exactly remember, but it was way early in his career. It was when he was doing, I think it was like Street Fighter 3. He was doing Street Fighter 3, and at that time I was not really following him that much because I really wasn't that much into fighting games. What I was into on YouTube was the Halo 2 machinimas. I loved the Halo 2 machinimas, like oh god, what can we call it? Red versus Blue. There was Red versus Blue, and then there were some small little indie machinimas. I don't even think they're on YouTube anymore. And then there was the Federation of Asshole Gamers. I'm not going to say what the word is because you all know what the Federation of Asshole Gamers was. It was led by Keemstar. That's what I was kind of into at the time. To answer your question, early career, around between 2006 to 2000. I can't exactly recall when. How did I become a detractor? Now, is actually this is actually a little bit more, going to be a little bit more in depth. And in case anybody is curious, I actually already answered the guy, that you'll find the reply here. The video, oh god, I didn't put down which video it was from. I'll link the video though. I'll link the video. It was from my DSPGaming is starting to crack. It was from that video. DSPGaming is starting to crack. When did I become a detractor? Around 2009. I was watching Phil Burnell on. He was playing Call of Duty 4, 5, 6. I can't recall the number, but it was the original Modern Warfare 2. It was original Modern Warfare 2. And he was having trouble, like he does in every game. Like he does in every game. And I think that's why he attracts so many people to this day to him, because I can't say just everybody. I think he attracts two type of people. He attracts, people who want to see a train wreck, like the detractors, the trolls. However, I think he also manages to attract some people because they watch somebody that they don't know about that much about, like Phil Burnell. They watch him sucking at games and think, wow, he's just like me. I'm not good at games. Just like me. They don't realize who this guy is. They don't realize who he is. So, back in around 2009, I'm not sure if anybody who watches is going to watch this is aware, but YouTube actually used to have a messenger service. They did. They did. I wish they still actually had it. I think having a messenger service is a great way to get in contact with the people you like to watch. Granted, they may not reply to you, but at least, they have an avenue to reach out to the people that they like, And I basically said, I messaged Phil, and I can't recall exactly what I said, but I know he was having difficulties. I'm like, hey, Phil, would you like to team up on Xbox Live? Like you could, because at that point, it looked like he was always playing by himself for the majority of the time. And he was always playing with random people. I figured that maybe, I would throw out, the invitation. Hey, Phil, do you want to play, some games, play some Modern Warfare 2? And, just that way he'd have somebody there to watch his back. Was I a good player? Fuck no. I was garbage, But at least having somebody like having a team is better than playing with a bunch of random people that you don't know anybody. Right? He didn't know me either. But I think having at least going in with a team who is on the same game plan, who may be able to even communicate. I think that is a lot better than just going by yourself. And that I think that honestly goes the same to all the way today with Black Ops 6. I play back Black Ops 6 and I literally rage quit it. I even rage deleted it because I'm just not a fan of the spawn system in the multiplayer. But yeah, so I sent him a message. I'm like, hey, would you like to team up? You know, I can watch your back, and and it'd help him at least develop his skills a little bit if he's having somebody there that kind of watches back while he's playing the game. And his reply was that I was attempting to ride his coattails. And to this day, there are times that he will still say that people are trying to get famous off of him. And he, and I reply and be like, no, dude, no, it's nothing like that, man. I just wanted to help you. Like I figured that we could, I could help you. And the way he could help me is just I'd have somebody to play with. Because back then, yeah, I was part of a Halo 2 guild or whatever you want to call it. Clan. That's what they were called, clans. But even though I was part of clan, it's just like their hours were different, so I really never had that much time to hang out with them. So I'm like, no, dude, I just, like to help you, and I could be in I could play with somebody, who wants to play with randoms all the time. And his reply after that was, he told me to go hang myself. And like being told to basically hurt yourself from somebody who like who you can tell is having trouble, like it's like, wow, that like, really. So I replied to him. I'm like, I'm sorry if I thought, sorry, I think you're having a bad day. I didn't mean like to upset you. I just wanted to see if you wanted to play a game. And his reply was basically, go terminate yourself. Why are you replying to me? Go terminate yourself. I can tell when I'm not wanted. So, I didn't even reply to that. Like, wow, like that was my first That was my first look behind the curtain of YouTube, I guess you could say. You know, like I'm like, wow, that was, that was pretty harsh. And I think the fact is, it's because the internet gives people, I think it gives them a false sense of worth, or a false sense of toughness or bravado, whatever you want to call it. So, and I stopped kind of watching him, at that point. I would come back every now and then. It was more to see the new games because at this point, my life was not in the best of places. A little known fact, back in 2000, I dropped out of high school. I'm not proud of it. I am not proud of it. I do not encourage anybody to drop out of high school. If possible, tough it out. Tough it out, Well, between, from the time YouTube started until I think it was like 2012-ish. Let me see here. Let me see when it was around the time the first Injustice game came out. I think like 2012, 2013. Yeah, April 16th, 2013. I was you know, I was I did not get my uh diploma since I dropped out of high school. And I spent a lot of time at home with my mom, and I am not proud of it. I should have done a lot more with my life. Should have done a lot more with my life. I'm not going to hide behind it. I dropped out. I failed. Well, I was watching the infamous "Do you want to play the fucking game?" video from Phil did. It was between Phil and some guy on Injustice: Gods Among Us, and the guy was using Deathstroke. I think that's his name. He was doing just constantly. He was doing long range attacks. Deathstroke, I think that's his name, was using like a gun. He uses a gun. And Phil, he was just losing his mind. He was losing his mind. And that's when he went on the "Do you want to play the fucking game?" And then he went on to continue to just berate the guy. Just went on to continue berating the guy. Saying the guy, his mom probably shut him out. He was living in his mom's basement eating Doritos, and I think it was Doritos, and drinking Fanta and all that shit. All that shit. And at this time, I was like one or two accounts ago on YouTube. I was actually trying to, I was recording gameplay, and I was trying to, do let's plays, And I saw Phil doing this, and I thought to myself, if that's what fame on YouTube does to somebody, I don't want that. I do not want that. I do not want to be the type of person that is screaming at people that I don't even know. And at this time, like I said, times were not the best. Times were not the best. So because I didn't have a job, when I did get enough money up and whatnot, I would only have like one game at the most I'd be able to like buy 2-3 games a year, So basically like I would literally have to dedicate a lot of time to these games that I would upload to YouTube and everything. And something clicked in 2013. It was like a whirlwind. First, I realized I didn't want to be like Phil Burnell. YouTube is toxic. It's toxic. I use it, but it's toxic. And the key is, I think a lot of people become toxic because they feel like they have no other choice on YouTube. Literally, it's a make or break situation with you. And look no further than Phil. Look no further than Phil. He is as toxic as toxic. And I've said it before, if he had a job, and I don't see why he doesn't. Well, the answer is simple. He's lazy. He's lazy. He has a degree. He never uses it. At least he claims he has a degree. But if he had a stable source of income, I'm pretty sure he would not have took this path that he's on now. Anyway, 2013, I started taking, I'm not sure what the correct term is, like the prep classes, or I call them GED prep classes, where it took the class members in my class at that time who were going to get our GED. It took them over half a year. I was able to get through the classes with good scores within half that time, like 3 months, I think it was. Throughout the summer of 2013, may have been late spring, but it was in midpoint of 2013. I went and I got my GED. Like I said, to get your GED, you have to place so high, you know. When I was going to high school between 99 and 2000, I started going to high school in 99. I was supposed to graduate in 2001. Graduated, I dropped out in 2000. They always told you that if you had a diploma, you were made, basically. So I figured since I got my diploma, my GED, I figured that I could at least get a job. I was wanting anything at this point. I was tired of looking like a failure. I figured at the least I could get a job like at like one of the big stores that opened up where I live is God, what's it called? It's a tool, like a tool place. Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, that's what it's called. They opened up just they were starting to open up for the holiday season of 2013. And I thought, well, I got my GD, you know, they're opening up. Couldn't hurt, you know. So I submitted my application. I submitted my application so many fucking times. I hated writing my name by the end, you know. Because each and every time I would write my name on those applications, I'd submit the applications, I always got turned down. I always got turned down. You know, I got turned down through Thanksgiving, got turned down through the Christmas holidays, you know, and I'll be honest, I was getting a little bit dissuaded. You know, you're told in high school that if you have a diploma, you can get a job. Not always true. Not always true. My mom, I don't believe in God, but I'll say this: God bless her. She was so nice. She was so nice. You know, I a lot of people who don't have a mom, I wish they could have had my mom. She's so fucking awesome. But yeah, my mom, she just like, wait, Jeff, everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna work out. And at this point, I was, I was bummed. You know, I was bummed. Uh, so early 2014, I decided, even though I have my diploma, GED, whatever you want to call it, I figured I'd start going to college. I went from college. I went to college from. I started going in the spring of 2014, and I was feeling hopeful. I was actually feeling, you know, and during that time, things have happened, medical issues and all that. Uh, the worst thing I had was I had a real bad case of pneumonia that spanned a couple months without me realizing I had pneumonia until it got to the point that I had to go to the hospital. Uh, but I finally graduated in 2018 with my with my degree in early childhood education, and I so I graduated in June 15th, if I remember correctly, 2008. And as soon as I got my degree, I started looking for jobs. They tell you that if you go to college and you apply yourself, you can get a job. They don't tell you that it could be a long road before you can get a job. They don't tell you that. I'm probably going to tell you stuff that in this video regarding college that a lot of people in the college industry does not want you to know. You can get a diploma or a degree. It doesn't mean you're going to get a job right away. They'll tell you, oh, and they showed me graphs and everything. Oh, you see, well, this job field, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. When you get your degree, you're going to be able to get into the job field. It doesn't mean that you're going to get in it right away. It just doesn't. So I spent the next several months trying to get a job, and I still could not get it. And at this point, I'll be honest, I was feeling very, very just beaten. I felt like I was down and out. And then slowly, jobs I started hearing back, and I finally got a job. The sad thing here's the sad thing. I had a degree. I still could not easily find a job. I ended up going through a outreach program that helped people find jobs. And thanks to them, due to them helping me, I got the job that I'm at now. I've had that job since 2019. I'm over 5 years in the job now, and I'm doing pretty damn good. I'm doing pretty damn good. Now you're probably wondering to yourself, Jeff, why are you telling me this? Because I want to thank Phil Burnell. I want to say thank you to Phil Burnell because it was that initial interaction I had with him that I posted right here. It was that initial interaction that started me on this path. Phil Burnell likes to push the narrative that every detractor is an idiot, that every detractor is poor, that every detractor lives in their parents' basement, that every detractor is worthless. No, we're not. Granted, I made bad choices, and I own up to that. I own up to that. I dropped out of high school. I should have just toughed it out, but I did not. I caved into pressure. But I like to think that this journey that I'm on because of Phil, it made me a lot better. It made me a hell of a lot better. I am able to live in a nice apartment. I am able to, I have, back, when I was, before I got before I even met Phil Burnell. I say met like I met him in person. Before I had my interaction with Phil, let's just say that. Before I had my interaction with Phil, I literally, I had my own bedroom, but like I just did not have that much. And the stuff I had, even though I'm grateful I had it because of the fact it was because my mom. She was nice. She went without so I could have stuff. And to this day that still pisses me off. Still pisses me off. I am not proud of that at all. Hold on one second. So, 5 years of busting my butt at my job. I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I love my job, but it's finally starting to pay off. I have my own apartment. I have a vehicle, even though the vehicle was given to me by my mom after she passed away. I don't drive it that much, but I have my own vehicle. I have hobbies. I have hobbies that I wish I had back in 2006. I have I have this. Here, let me show it to you. I have this awesome, computer setup. I have this because I worked hard. I have this because I worked hard to obtain it, to obtain it. I want people to see this video and think that detractors, I'm not saying all detractors, but a lot of us are not what Phil likes to claim. We are not stupid. We are not brain dead idiots. I did some stupid shit and I dropped out of high school and I was aimless for years. But it was that interaction with Phil Burnell that set this all in motion. I want to say thank you to Phil. Thank you, Phil. Because of you, I don't have debt. I don't have to beg people for money. I don't have to guilt people for money. I don't require people to give me money at all. Why? Because I have an awesome job. I have a job that pays me so nicely that I can have I have that nice computer. I have my hobbies. I wish I took pictures. I wish I could show you all my Transformers. I'm not sure if this is the right saying, but I'm not making this video to spite Phil. I'm doing this video in spite of what Phil does and what he says. Everything, like I said, since that initial reaction, that initial encounter, me going to school, back to school, me getting my GED, me getting me getting a degree, and that's all due to Phil and his toxic behavior. I did not want to end up like Phil. Even if my path was different and somehow I struck it big on YouTube, which I now realize that I won't. YouTube selects who they want to be the big guys. Even if my path was different and I hit it big, I think honestly I would hate myself because I would just turn into another prototypical or whatever you want to call it, Phil Burnell, where I would literally be screaming at people and guilting them to give me dollars. If the goal is not being met, I would have to guilt them to give me money. No, thank you, Phil. Thank you. You helped me achieve my wildest dreams, which is funny. It's fucking hilarious, to be honest. It's hilarious. Everything I have that, I worked hard for. Everything I have, I worked hard for. And I'm the total opposite of Phil. Phil had everything. He had the world handed to him when it came to YouTube. He wasted it. He wasted it. It's gone. It's gone. I am more fulfilled now at my point. I'm 43. I am more fulfilled now at this point in my life than Phil is. Phil can act like he's happy. He's not. He's not. How can you be happy when you're literally having to beg just for stuff to help you survive? If I wanted to right now, I could literally turn off this recording and go outside to a nearby restaurant and have a nice meal. I don't have to be like, oh God, do I have enough? If I do I have enough money via tips, via super chats? No, I don't have to, because of what Phil did to me. Honestly, Phil, he helped me open my eyes, and to that, like I said, I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. Okay, so that is basically it. I just want to leave Phil with one parting note. Phil, we are not here just because we want to hate on you. We're not. We're not. Each and every detractor that has been created is because of you and your attitude and your interactions. And because of that, I'm reminded of what something Seth Rollins said. He said, and I quote,
actions have consequences.
I'm actually hoping that clip actually gets through, because WWE is pretty they're pretty protective of their stuff. But Phil, your actions have consequences. The detractors are the consequences of your actions. Okay, but that's basically it. I just want to kind of give some in-depth view of, why I became a detractor. Basically, it was a bad interaction I had with Phil. That bad interaction with Phil actually led me on this journey where now I have a nice paying job and I don't have to beg people for money. Okay, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that this video gave you a little bit of insight as to why how I became a fan of Phil and why I became a detractor. I hope that you like it. Don't worry, there's a lot more comments. This is just one. This is one that has never really been asked to me, and I really wanted to just give it a special acknowledgement and everything. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to click that like and to subscribe and all that. If you're watching it on Facebook, feel free to click that follow, click the like, and all that stuff. And I'll see you next time. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse, wishing you all a great day. And remember, you make your own destiny, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.